any big chance? How much you look forward to from the start?
Yeah, good. Obviously, it's been a good week, exciting week, and it's a big one to be involved in. So delighted, and it's like we've had a good week's prep, and we're all buzzing for it.
Especially McCluskey, you have to be patient along the way, and it's been with that again and stuff.
Yeah, no, he's been actually brilliant. Him and Jimmy, to be fair to them both, have been in great form. Like, all things considered, they've been in fantastic, fine form for the entire environment. Much better than I think anyone inside, or definitely everyone outside, could have imagined it would be in, and they've been really, really good for us. And the preparation they've been bringing to the table for the rest of the team.
Guys, hands up please if you have it. Tommy.
Iain, what does it feel like to get the nod for a game of this magnitude to start?
Yeah, like obviously it's to be involved in a game like this, obviously coming down to the crunch time of the tournament is big, but we've been working together hard throughout the entire tournament and the weeks before that, so we all help each other out as much as possible en route. Everyone pitches in whenever they're required, prepping for every game. It's been no different this week. Huge privilege and honour for me to be able to start as always, and obviously looking forward to the challenge that's ahead of us.
Is a big part of that challenge locking down that lineup?
Yeah, obviously, like there's a handful of times over the last number of months that our lineout for myself hasn't gone well. Cheese had a couple of times when things haven't gone well, but like we're there probably pre-game to try and come up with a plan, half-time to try and help each other out, and then reviewing games to ensure that these types of things don't happen again. Scotland have a good line out, they have a good line out defence, and we know that's a big area that they'll look to target us on. But look, we've got a plan, and that's where we have to put our confidence in how we prep each other, and we've been good this week.
Rory?
And you take a lot from the fact that although the first couple went didn't go well, you figured your way out through the start.
Yeah, definitely. Look, so one thing or another, the first 3-4 lineouts didn't really go to hand, didn't work the way we want them to. Part of that was our fault. Part of that was South Africa bringing quite a smart plan at the start of their game in their line of defence, showing stuff that they hadn't shown before. But for James to come back in, be cool headed, and from there on in actually have a very good line-out performance. He understands that and I understand that whenever things aren't going well for you, you can always go back and rely on the work you've done before, rely on the plan you've put together, and obviously Tag Burnout there is a fantastic line-out option as well, and he sees a lot of pictures too, and that's a massive help for us as well.
Yeah, James, there's great competition between yourself and Conor for that starting place. Do you like having that competition, and do you think it drives you both on to be at your best?
Yeah, 100%. To your question, I absolutely love it. I suppose it drives us both on, as well as Craig. Craig's been awesome throughout as well. Like the point that Hendy touched on, the other guys that haven't played as many minutes, but they've been training the house down and putting us under serious pressure in training. So, yeah, but to your question, I absolutely love the competition. I get the same thing in the province with Lukey there, and certainly drives me on.
Can I ask you both just about Peter O'Mahony, what stands out for you about him behind the scenes and all the rest of it?
The Haggard Badger. The Haggard Badger, I think he's been coined. No, Pete's obviously, he's where'd they come from? I'm not 100% sure. It's been
Dave Kilcoyne.
Pete's a massive leader for our group. He's not only like in terms of rugby, but in terms of what we stand for as players, and the social side of things that we stand for, the how well knitted together we are. He's a massive part of that. Obviously, I'm sure a lot of the cliches will come out and all, but he probably rings true to most of them. Deserving every minute of the jersey he's played in, and to this day still nailing that down. And I don't think, well, you can see in Faz's selections and how highly Faz speaks of him. I think that all rings true to the type of person that he is, and long may that continue.
Yeah, no, I love playing with PD. On the pitch and off it, he's just a great teammate, and I've thoroughly enjoyed the last few years getting to know him as a bloke, and no one who deserves it more. So looking forward to the weekend.
your record, question for both of you, your record over Scotland is very impressive. Once in the last 13 tests. The scoreline they need to progress, they haven't recorded against you since 2007. But how much of that dominance over Scotland helped them?
They've definitely pulled us close a couple of times over the last number of games. Obviously, you can't deny obviously the results that you're talking about, but we've seen the way the Scotland team can attack. We've seen the threats that they have across their back line, and they're carrying threats in the pack too. They've come out and said they have full belief, and we've seen elements of their attack that we definitely deem to be incredibly threatening and have definitely got us wary. They have obviously a crunch game this weekend the same way as we have, and we know that we're going to be expecting to play a different Scotland side than probably we've come up against as a squad in the last sort of 4 years. We've seen how both of us have experienced how good the individual Scottish teams can be at a provincial level, and if they can get that translated into performance the weekend, we know that they have the ability to do some damage. On the flip side of that, we need to look after what we can control in terms of our game, and we know if we play our best game, we'll have confidence in what we can do.
Yeah, Iain, you were talking to Andy there just about you starting, and he said you deserve it, that your role has changed over the last while, and you're coming off the bench more, and that doesn't change you at all, and how you train and how you are as a leader. How do you, is that a mindset for you that you've always had, or is it something that's developed over time?
I think it's probably something I've always kind of liked to think I believed in, but I think over the last number of years I've definitely been given the opportunity to sort of live it. The environment and the squad that Faz has created has got the right team of people together to make sure that people can actually be helpful at all stages. They like Jamo said about everyone in different positions, or everyone in the same position, we're all genuinely pulling towards the same goal. So whether or not I'm starting or I'm on the bench or not involved, I can say this truthfully for all the other second rows, we're all genuinely working together, and that's the way it feels. So having that sort of mentality between 3-4 players, it definitely makes you feel like a lot more comfortable and a lot more confident in what you're trying to do, and I think that's probably what he's trying to get at there.
Do you think Andy
Sorry, Ashley. There's a lot of people need to get through. I want to be fair. Yeah.
Iain,
Sorry.
talk about the permutations that Swords and Dots on Saturday night. And told us that you were in charge of the match. Have you got a particular aptitude for it? And how was it taken for it to that?
No, I wouldn't say I have a particular aptitude. I think everyone here would be able to figure it out as well. Obviously, we going into games, we talk about different scenarios and different things that can happen, what might need to be done. We do it for a lot of competitions, be it coming towards the end of a Six Nations or the end of a pool. That's kind of it wouldn't be alien to a lot of rugby players to try and figure things out, or watching other results coming in. So obviously we know there's a handful of different permutations. For those of us playing though, when we are trying to get through our defensive shapes and our attacking shapes, the last thing the coaches want us to be doing is sitting looking at the calculators out, looking at the scoreboard. So I'm sure Vinny and Foggs will be on top of all that, and we'll get specific messages that we need to hear.
Any further questions? Yeah.
Iain, just to go back on what you were talking to Aisling about, like kind of being more accepting maybe of a role coming off the bench, is that something that you've grown better at down the years? Like when you were younger, would you have got maybe a little bit frustrated if you were coming off the bench, or if you were just part of the wider group?
Not necessarily frustrated, because I think you can always. I don't think I've ever been on the bench and went into a game annoyed, because again, back to cliches, but a lot of them are true. Like anytime you are playing for your country or your province, you're genuinely delighted to be there, and there might be a small bit of frustration earlier in the week when you find that out, but as you build in towards a game, you're fully team focused, and you're driven to try and get the result. I've enjoyed every game so far as much as I've enjoyed any game in this World Cup. So in previous World Cups when I was on the bench, I think I enjoyed those games too. So I don't think I've got any worse or better at it.
Sorry, last two questions, Tommy and then Aisling, if you want.
James, is there more to come from this Irish team at this World Cup in terms of performance levels you've reached so far?
Yeah, I'd hope so. It's kind of something we speak about, is trying to build on a performance week to week. So that'll certainly be our goal. With that, though, you obviously come up against testing opposition who will paint different pictures for you. So, but yeah, to your question, I think I'd like to think you'll see a bit more out of us.